Hello, I have quite the little short thing to share with you. I want to promote this new thing called the Mead Institute. The Mead Institute is yet another educational resource for mead makers, and it features quite a few amazing people spearheading it. I hopped on a Zoom call and had them chat with me about the Mead Institute, so you'll get to see some fun people in this. But there are a bunch of links down below, and the video will totally explain everything about the Mead Institute. I hope you will go and support them, and thank you for watching. To hear from you guys to help promote this world is I want to hear what your main goal is, and of course a little backstory about when you started. I believe that this team itself is spectacular, and so people know you already. I don't think we need to necessarily go deep into everyone's past, but I would love to have we just list off everybody who's involved in this, and even if we have support staff that I know are maybe not here outside of you guys. But I want to hear about your mission. I want to hear about your backstory and what are the some big plans that you have that you're willing to share, of course.
Thanks, Garrett. Well, as co-chair, I'm happy to talk, but Allison Schramnager is our chair. Ken and Carvin are guiding directors, and Chrissy Zarapur, who's not with us today, is also a guiding director, and they're all co-founders of Mead Institute. And we came together to define mead and establish quality standards and provide education to mead enthusiasts and beverage alcohol professionals in a professional and transparent way. We wanted to be able to meet the rising demand for mead with really high quality education and information about the mead category, and then drive the quality production of mead forward so people can enjoy it and understand it and share it with people across the board. And I'd love to let Ken, Carvin, or Allison chime in if I missed anything, or we all love this drink and they all love it for their own reasons.
So is one of your main goals to start to, for lack of a better term, attack the odd liquor laws that surround mead and to kind of hopefully push us in a new direction? Is that part of your goal, or is it, is that part of your goal?
I think that is fairly auxiliary. That comes naturally with increasing mead education. So if the general public has a better idea of what mead is, of what quality mead is, of what standards for mead making are, and definitions for subcategories of meads are, I think that's a natural progression for the public and the mead industry to ask for improved regulations and improved federal definitions surrounding the labeling and formulation approval of meads. But our number one goal is mead education and quality standards.
Absolutely. I love that.
If I can follow up on that, there is a disconnect between what the federal government believes mead is and what the industry understands that mead is. And the Mead Institute can provide credibility and authority when it comes to how the government examines the subject and how things will be defined on a governmental level. If we can agree to how things are defined on an industry level, then they'll be encouraged to redefine things that way, and we can serve as that model. That's how the government has worked consistently all along. They've when they've defined the American Viticultural associations, the AVAs, and all of those appellation definitions, and they've also utilized definitions that are used by other countries. They're counting on there being an authority figure to provide that structure, and that's what we'd like to provide.
I think that's wonderful. So one of my questions for you guys is, as people who are obviously very passionate about this, what are some steps that people who are not within the Mead Institute necessarily do to help promote mead other than buying mead and talking about it? Are there any things that you guys seek for us to do?
It won't hurt. It won't hurt at all if you speak to your legislature or legislators. It won't hurt at all if you send a letter to the Secretary of the Treasury. The Secretary of the Treasury is one of the people that can make changes to the law. And more importantly, just to speak consistently about the beverage and to support the Mead Institute so that we can help folks out. I mean, joining us, joining as a member, and getting onto our Facebook page, and then keeping track of how the posts occur as the website goes live, that'll be extremely helpful.
I'm going to chime in here on a few things too as well. Like Ken said, I'm just going to echo what Ken said. Joining the mailing list, following us on Facebook, keeping in contact with us on social media. And one question I always get is, what's an example of a quality standard? Well, something that I talk about all the time is there's very few commercial meaderies who can tell you that have samples of each one of the honeys that they made their meads with, so they can be able to repeat their batches. Because honey, just like grapes, is a terroir, and it changes from year to year. Your fruit changes from year to year, but the honey is a major percentage of the mead. So not being able to know how to do that process, how to take a quality assurance sample of honey and send that off to a vendor to make sure that honey is not adulterated in any way is something that can help producers make better mead. So that's an example of a quality standard. Not saying that that's something that the Mead Institute is going to do, but that is an example of a quality standard. So our goal is to come up with quality standards for meaderies and help meaderies produce a better product, which makes the whole industry better.
I think that's great. And now I do want to ask you guys, where you said Facebook, what are the other avenues by which we can follow, we can support, and do all these things? Facebook, of course, the Mead Institute, and where else?
We're Mead Institute on Instagram, and we have a MailChimp newsletter sign up.
So for folks that sign up, they'll be notified first when we launch and be offered introductory membership offers that no one else will get. And then the tasting journal, which has been the work of the last 3 months, we worked with Ray Daniels, Randy Mosher, and then 3 master sommeliers, making this document that will help people learn about mead and dive deep into mead. So if they're coming to mead from a advanced alcohol perspective or an intermediate to beginner enthusiast perspective, this document will guide them through appreciating every element of their mead, understanding it, and then sharing that experience with others so that pleasure is easily transferable. And hopefully great conversations can spark over different people's experiences with the same mead, increasing appreciation and understanding across the board.
I love this. You guys, this is fantastic. I myself am very inspired, and I have no doubt that everybody who gets involved with the Mead Institute is going to have just a lot of fun with the community, because it sounds like to me it's going to be a wonderful community of people who are actively learning together and making things together. It's going to be, that's just such a cool thing. And then, of course, you guys are in every right just amazing people for resources. This sounds like an awesome resource to learn and to get better at mead making. And so I think I want to, of course, I'll be posting every possible link I can below to support you guys, and I'll make sure and put that. But thank you guys for explaining the Mead Institute. This is fantastic. And I have no doubt that this is just the beginning of something that's going to be exponentially growing throughout the years. Sweet.
Thanks for the opportunity, and we appreciate you having us.